What's going on, folks? How are you on this lovely Saturday morning? We're listening to Satan Takes a Holiday. Fantastic band. If you've never heard Satan Takes a Holiday, they're a lot of fun. This is not my favorite song by the band, but it's going to be in the background today. It's going to be some morning tunes in the background today. If you're curious, this is mostly going to be Satan Takes a Holiday in the background because they're not really that well known of a band. And I really do enjoy them. So why not give them a little props out there? You know what I mean? Instead of, it's always nice to give bands props when you can, right? So what are we doing today? I understand that today's stream will mostly be the B-metal zone into a jazz chorus. No, but yeah, we're going to do that. Now that you just said that out loud, now my brain's just like, man, that would be fun, wouldn't it? I was going to sound like crap, but... All right, so what are we doing today? My name is Tyler. Welcome to episode 85. Who'd have thought we'd get 85 episodes into this? Probably more, actually. I just forgot to... There was a bunch of episodes, really early episodes, like probably another 15 or 20 of them maybe, that I didn't title the NAMM show. But basically we're the same thing. So before we had a title on it. So what are we doing today? Another release day stream. Q1 releases starting to drop. I love Q1 releases, and we were just talking the other day about how they're just... Q1 is usually a lot busier. Like NAMM, for example, usually has a couple of plug-in releases there's always a couple at NAMM, but now I've been the low is that a lot of plug-in developers just don't find it NAMM to be worth their time and money. It is not cheap to get a booth at NAMM, folks. And I heard there was this thing. And this might be complete speculation. Not speculation. This might be just a rumor. So rumor alert. I do not know this for sure, but I heard a rumor that several smaller plugin developers were trying to organize a single triumphant booth. So multiple plugin amp sim developers and plugin developers we're looking to band together, like mid-level. We're all looking to band together, all be there together, and have one above all is all godsend of an amp sim booth in a good spot that would have been like 5 or 6 or 7 smaller, not smaller, but like mid-level to even, maybe just not at the Neural DSP or STL Tones advertising budget level. Below that, it's just the rumor was that was an interested thing to happen. I don't know if it obviously didn't happen this year, but there's nothing to say that it won't happen. Maybe next year, potentially. Summer NAMM, not as popular for guitar stuff. Usually summer NAMM's more drums and keyboards, if I'm understanding things correct. I'm going to be drinking a smoothie today instead of a coffee. And this is not the greatest bottle. I'm trying to take a health conscious approach to life these days. More health conscious. I've lost some weight unintentionally by just leaning out and calories and dropping and not on purpose and this and that. So I'm trying to gain some weight back and trying to get into better shape again prior to disc golf season. So that's what my goal is, to drink more smoothies and drink less coffee on Saturdays. So we're hopefully going to be doing some of that. So what are we doing today? Mark Swarbrick, hello. Elmira's, how are you? Message retracted. Yes, Nembrini changed their UI. We're going to go over that. Boy, did they ever. And I'm not afraid to say it out loud that I have been bothering Igor Nembrini to do this. And I'm going to make a big deal about it. I didn't make as big a deal about it with the HK, but I'm going to make a big deal about it right now. I met Igor Nembrini when I was working on honest amp sim reviews. Igor reached out to me, told me who he was, but I didn't even, it was the craziest thing is at first he reached out to me and I didn't know he was making claims. He's like, I'm the guy that made all the guitar and bass gear for Brainworks. And I'm starting my own company now. Here's my new plugin. I would love to work along with you. And that's how our friendship started. And the first plugin he sent me was his very first the first version of the MRH 810 and the BST 100, as well as the Lo-Fi Clipper, but that's another story. And the very first email that I sent back to him was that you need a pre-effects section. You need a screamer. These are amazing plugins. I love your cab section. The modeling is off the fucking charts. Everything sounds fantastic, but you really need a pre-effects section because that seems to be the way that the industry is going. Well, guys, that was several years ago. And this is the first Nembrini audio only in-house plugin, not licensed to, the first one was the HK. And there was presumably this theory that maybe somebody at HK asked for the pre-effects section and then, or whatever. And because Igor's just never really wanted to do it. He's been under the impression that, in his words, is when you buy an amp, they don't give you pedals with it. You buy an amp and a cabinet, they don't give you pedals with it. You've got to build your own signal chain. But over the course of things, the industry has started to just require it. I agree and don't agree at the same time. I feel his way of not wanting to conform. I felt that. I could feel that, and I don't want to conform to that. I don't want to conform to the convenience people that just don't want to build a signal chain. That was my way of looking at it. But also in the fact that he's right. When you buy an amp, they don't give you pedals with it. But over the course of things, he just got more and more interested in making and providing that full signal chain, right? It's not about just, conforming and finally I had to do it. There are just some pedals that when you put an amp sim out, there are just some pedals that if you want the user to have the best experience possible, and you know that not everyone is going to build their own signal chain, put those pedals in there. Put those pedals. In this case, we're looking at a noise gate, kick ass. We're looking at a compressor, kick ass. We're looking at an auto-swell, hell yeah, and a fuzz pedal. Man, that's awesome. Then we have the amplifier, which looks great. And the post effects, or so the cabinet section that, just like before, it's roughly the same as before, only over here, go to the screen, over here, you don't have the input output, it's up here now. And this whole signal chain looks great. I saw one person in the comments, it's a Neural DSP ripoff. Not everybody that does it fucking sweet is ripping off Neural DSP. So it's a rant that I have. Sweets have existed longer than Neural DSP. What would you say if I told you that it existed with Amplitude, it existed with the TSEX50? They did not invent the suite. So what I'm saying is, it's not a ripoff. In my opinion, it's not even close. There is a very vast difference between Neural DSP, STL Tones, Nembrini Audio, WaveMind, Audiority. Yes, they're all providing that full signal chain, but no one's ripping anybody off. And there's only so much you can do with a suite by putting things here and there while still maintaining the ease of use. So in this case, we're looking through it and the ease of use looks fantastic to me. We have a 212 Roland, obviously the matched, the combo cab. We have a Hughes and Kettner 212 Vintage 30 with Vintage 30s. We've got a Fender Twin 212. And we've got a VHT 412. This has obviously become, I think this is now secretly, must be Igor's favorite cabinet. This must be his EGA 412, 414 Hyperio mix. You know what I mean? And if you by that, I mean, that's my favorite. So this seems to pop up in all of every single plugin since he started including this cabinet. So this must be Igor's new in-house baby, and that's awesome. I love that because this cabinet sounds awesome. And then you have a Vox 212 with Celestian Blues, I think. And then you have a Bogner 212 with V30s, and we're back to the Roland. For guitar today, I'm using a made in Mexico Telecaster. with a PAF Pro and humbucker from hell. And today we're just going to be chilling out, hanging out, and just getting some tones in. Just let's get to the comments here, get to the chat. The new UI looks similar to other brands of plugins. This uniformity looks nice and enhances using the plug. I agree. It's similar to other plugins, and I like what he said there. It's similar, and I think that there's only so far you can go with a suite style plugin. UI. Sam in the house. Always when I'm on stream, Sam likes to announce that he is here. I am also here, everyone. All right, let's see if we can get to some tones finally. That's my DI. Let's make sure the DI is... Is it good, Sam? Yeah? How you doing, buddy? We'll call this stream the I'm ignoring my house duties for the morning stream. That's my DI. Sounds pretty good. Now let's kick... Oops. That's not it. We've got a couple other Nembrini audio plugins in the chain today for fun, just in case we get into her. We've got the Nembrini Audio 501 Chorus Echo. I think this is also based on a Roland product, is it not? I'm not super familiar with this unit, being completely honest. We've got the Nembrini Audio Double Reverb, the Jazz Chorus, and the Vox AC30 / the Voice DC30. All right, let's go to the Jazz Chorus. Whoa, Nelly, that was a lot of things that just happened to my ears. That is very touchy. That's very, very touchy. And I'm going to turn this down even a little bit more. The synth stuff in the background is kind of just cutting through a little bit too much. Wow, that sounds good. The default tone is wonderful here. Chimey. Being I've got a room verb on, I'm just going to turn off there for a second. That sounds nice. Yeah, man, I know. I'm a bit hot there. How's that sound to you guys? Is that still too loud? How's that sound? A little bit better? That sounded pretty good to me. It's a big ass jug to be drinking on stream. I don't know. I might have to get a straw. Is that better now? And by the way, I wasn't trying to take a shot at Neural DSP. I love that company and everything, pretty much everything they do. Wasn't trying to take a shot. I was trying to take a shot at the folks that just seem to believe that no one else was doing a suite prior to that. The inventor of the suite. It's not the inventor of the suite. The TSEX50 was the first suite style single plugin that I ever used. And that came along way before that. Yeah, the output seems to be clipping a little bit there. Yeah, it's a little hot. It's not really clipping on my end. Sounds weird. That's about right. Boy, do I ever remember Le Pou. I did lots and lots and lots and lots of testing on those in the forums. He deleted the whole forums and the blog posts, but if not, you'd be able to go in there and see like my old username. I was very much loved being part of that community when I found it, and I'm just like, man, this is super cool. I remember a friend of mine saying, there's these free amps that sound really fucking good. I'm like, yeah, free? I don't know, man. Sure, we'll give them a shot. He showed me how they worked and how to set things up in a signal chain with IRs and stuff, and mind was blown, and that was pretty much the start of my love for amp sims. So yeah, very familiar with that, and I'm not gonna say it out loud because we did it in one stream, and we put on our tinfoil hats, but I'm pretty sure, in fact, I'm 110% sure that Elaine Poulin from Le Pou is still very much hard at work in this industry. And I'm not going to say for who, because last time I did it, somebody got kind of pissed off at me. And it's not like I care about pissing off like some random dude that holds a job sitting at a desk and wants to lecture me about speculation in this industry. I got a bit of a lecture about it, and it was like, you know what? I'm not gonna say the company, but I'm 110% that Elaine Poulin is still very much hard at work in this industry for a top developer on some level. That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, super familiar with the Le Pou stuff. I recorded a lot with it. It's fantastic stuff. I'm not a very gifted lead player here, folks. I know very few jazz chords as well. Sorry. I know very, very few jazz chords. You're not going to get a lot of Alan Holdsworth out of me anytime today. Yeah, hybrid up until... honestly, the hybrid from Le Pou was up until very recently still... I was still using it for leads. I think it's still one of my secret weapons. It was up until... Hey, this is not a segue of any kind, but until the Nembrini Audio ADA MP1, the MP1 Pro came out, that thing came out and just can change the game for leads for me. I haven't used anything else for leads ever since that came out. But prior to that, the hybrid was still getting a lot of usage with, it still sounds good. The only one of the Le Pou amps, I think, that at this point is actually really starting to sound its age of being like a 15-year-old plugin. Plus, 15 plus even, I think. I don't even know how many years that thing's been around, but the Lecto is the only one I think that's starting to show its age a little. You can still use the hybrid and all the other ones and still be like, wow, these are 15 years old? Scary good. Mark Studios, how are you? Do you remember have you tried the JC 120 live in a room? You know what? Honestly, I'm going to be straight up with you. I was in a jam space, a communal jam space where there was like several bands, a collective, we'll say, jam space. There's several bands that were jamming there, and there was a jazz chorus, a Roland Jazz Chorus, that sat in the corner of this room and did nothing but collect dust. And eventually the guy bought a cover for it, and it sat under the cover. He was in the jam space one time, and I was like, hey man, how about we fire up that old jazz chorus? And he did. He fired it up, didn't let me touch it. I just played through it. That was really my only hands-on, not even hands-on experience with the amp. And then I had a friend of mine that kind of had built one into a rack unit. He had taken the jazz chorus out of the cabinet and built it into an amp and was running it through a different type of like a home-built 212 that was like larger, and that sounded awesome. It was a really great sounding rig, and I had never had a chance to play with it or anything, but I just saw him a lot of times play at open mic nights at a bar that I worked at the time. It was the only amp. He was on every open mic night because he just always loved to play every open mic night. He was always there with this big floorboard full of like delays and every aspect of everything. He would play with a drum machine and this crazy elaborate rig, and he had one of those Geddy Lee bass foot things. And this guy was severely entertaining, and it's even more so when he came on at the end of the evening sometimes, and you were already super gassed. But anyways, that was my main experience with this, but it wasn't really this. You know what I mean? So he had the Jazz Chorus built into like a home built and home varnished and stained and finished little like cabinet. And then he had another home built cabinet underneath that had 212s. That's all I really know about it. But it was pretty awesome. I'm going to try turning up some distortion. And we're going to turn off some of the post effects here. There's a lot of post effects happening. Turn off, turn off, turn off, turn off, turn off. See if we can get this thing a little bit angry. Can we get this thing angry, do you think? Let's try. That's one thing I've literally never, ever heard this amp do. Is this both times I had a chance to look at this amp, there was no distortion whatsoever on it. No autumn leaves? I feel like I'm constantly getting roasted. Yo, Myers, I feel like you're constantly low-key roasting me. Is this true? Are you roasting me? I don't mind getting roasted, though. That's fine. Anyways, I'm hoping everybody's having a great day. Super Bowl weekend this weekend. I don't know if you guys care about American football or not, but I do. This is not a Super Bowl. Anybody... To be honest, most football fans are only watching this game in hopes that the Chiefs will lose and we can all say, ha ha, fuck you. That's pretty much it. Otherwise, I have no interest in the Super Bowl at all. The only reason I care if Philadelphia wins is because that would mean the Chiefs don't. Otherwise, I could not give a shit. Apart from that and the food. Can we make it Doom? Does it Doom? Let's see if we can make it Doom. What? 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 You hear this wall of rad distortion? That rips. I could turn the compressor off and get maybe a little bit less stank. Holy smokes! I did not expect that. Did anybody else expect to get just a ripping wall of like rock tone out of this? I was not expecting that at all. In fact, is this not a solid state amp? I'm pretty sure it is. I'm 300% sure this is a solid state amp, but I guess I could be wrong. All right, let's try the auto swell. This could be a lot of fun, I'm sure. That's weird. Interesting. A little more sensitive, a little less time. Neat. Like it. Nice, and you can give it kind of a wah feel as well, yeah? Interesting. I really don't have a lot of experience with like any kind of volume sweller, volume swellers, volume swell type effects. I had one in my rig when I was younger. The pod had like a volume swell kind of effect that was really cool, and then the floorboard had the, you know, if you had the expression pedal on the floorboard, that was always kind of fun. But otherwise, I don't have a lot of I don't really have a lot of experience with these. They're pretty simplistic. You set the sensitivity, you set the time, you set the fade to the type of fade that you'd like, and then you can make it wah-ish. It just kind of injects this little filter like you have a wah at like 2/3 rocker, and that's about it. It's fairly simple. The compressor is very simple. The noise gate, very simple. I don't really assume that you're gonna need it super bad with this guitar, even without the denoiser today, we don't have a lot of noise happening because, well, quite simply, there's not a lot going on in this chain that's going to involve adding noise. So yeah. All right, let's tune up here. By the way, later today we are going to have one more stream. A little bit later today, I'm going to be doing we're going to do a tone talk. We haven't done a tone talk in a while. It involves a giveaway. This is going to be Tone Talk Old School Death Metal, folks, and it's be sponsored by, well, not sponsored by, but Audiority is offering up a prize of the brand new, well, the newly updated Solidus Randy 250 plugin, which involves two Randall amps. And this thing is awesome. It truthfully is. It's awesome, and you guys are going to dig it. I'm sure this stream will be a lot of fun. We're going to be talking about nothing but old school death metal. All of your old school death metal favorites will be included. We'll be talking about Obituary. We'll be talking about Cannibal Corpse. We'll be talking about Death. Maybe a little bit about Atheist. Talking about Morrisound Studios and the production techniques that were involved in making some of those albums that today, listening back as today's metalheads, as we listen now to the newer productions, you listen to the older productions and you're like, what? Things were done a lot differently in the 90s to get bands to sound heavy. We're talking about the forefront of the metal production era. The very, very different things were happening than you saw happening in, for example, in thrash metal. They weren't using the same production techniques. And we'll talk about that in the stream later today. Time-wise, I think we're going to be looking at about one to be this afternoon, guys. I'm sorry I can't nail it down. It's probably going to be likely a ballpark in the 2 or 3-ish area this afternoon. So do stay tuned for that, and I'll be stoked to be able to talk to you guys about that. Here we go. Go. Man, that band fell apart hard, eh? Jeebus. Perry Farrell was just sort of left out. They just decided to start working on new material with somebody else. Dude is in need of some help, I think. But that's neither here nor there. So yeah, tell me in the comments what your solid state 300%. Yes, absolutely. Try chords with swell. Yeah, absolutely try chords with swell. I agree. Have you tried this plugin yet? No, wrong swell. Doesn't want it. Interesting, the track in there. Interesting. I had some. I was getting something good with it there for a moment. Interesting. Some issues with the chords there. I don't know. I was sorry, guys. I blasted you there. Yeah, maybe a little bit of a bug there. I'll have to call that in. Thanks for asking for that, though, Myers. That's a good thing to do. I wouldn't have thought of that too. And then we found a little bug. No big deal. It's a bug that somebody else didn't find during beta. Not the end of the world. First day. This is not release day. This is the day after release day, by the way. And we're celebrating the release of the Nembrini Audio Jazz Chorus. A very exciting plugin. I can't think of another company that's really done. Actually, no, there are a few of these now. I know that Steel Tones put one out in the Westmoreland Tonality. There's also, I believe there's one in Helix Native. And on top of that, I know there's one in BX Rock Rack, also programmed and coded, etc. by Igor Nembrini way back in the day. BX Rock Rack has a jazz chorus. I'm trying to think of all the other. There's got to be a few more out there. Tell me in the comments. That's cool, man. Well, I mean, okay, but is that I've never really been. I have the real amp thing is, yeah, sure, that's cool that you have the real amp, but having a plugin that sounds real close to the real deal, I don't know, man. Like, I think that's almost, if you're a really huge fan of the amp, I'm almost thinking that I would almost need a plugin version of it, that if it's really good, because then you can kind of record with that tone anytime you want. You know what I mean? You know, you can do all your demo work and all the low key stuff with the plugin, and then when it comes time to record the real deal, well, then it comes time for the amp to take up half of your office with the mics, you know, and everything else, or half your recording space or your living room or wherever you're recording. That's always the way I've looked at that, is if you're a huge fan of an amp, having a really, really good plug-in version of said amp or multiple plug-in versions of that amp is never a bad idea. Because like I said, there's a lot that goes into this that maybe you don't always want to pull out the amp and fire it up and let everybody hear it and mic it and all that. You know what I mean? Plus, not everybody wants to be married to that tone in immediately, right? With plugins, you have an opportunity to change things around. So again, it's really handy for demoing things and recording, demo versions of something you're going to do more on an album level. You save the gear for when it comes time. Everything is perfected. I know what's going to go where. I know I've already done a lot of this. The Roland didn't work on all 4 tracks, so I'm going to use Roland on 2, and I'm going to use Vox on 2. I don't have a Vox, So I'm going to use my regular Roland. I'm going to record that, and then I'm going to use Vox on two. Well, you know what I mean? There's opportunities to try and do things like that. This way of thinking, for me, like, yeah, I had the 5153, but I really, really wanted a good plug-in version of it as well. So I just, other ways to look at things. I'm not calling you incorrect by any means, though. So I totally understand why you wouldn't necessarily want to buy the plugin if you already have 2 jazz choruses. I used to be able to play some Limp Bizkit, but this is an E, so I'm not sure. It's a little bit of a honk on this now, so I want to go into the cabinet and bring this back a little bit. And bring that up a tiny bit. Yeah, this sounds awesome. And so what do you think, Myers? Well, I usually work backwards. I get the plug-in of an amp. If I really like the plug-in, I buy the real amp. That's fair. Absolutely. There's a lot of people that do it that way as well. And for me, I mean, I just don't have the need for any analog gear, and I have no space for it either. So for me, I just kind of live and die by the plug-in, and kind of probably will for a good while yet. I mean, I don't see a need. I don't record anything at a level where I say, oh, I need the real amp. I don't play live anymore. That would be the main reason for me to buy an analog amp. Because you would not see me I wouldn't be caught dead playing on a stage with a modeler. Again, I wouldn't be caught dead playing on a stage with a plug-in based like laptop rig. No way. No way. If I ever played live again with an amp, it would have to be, I like air moving behind me. You know what I mean? I like the feeling of that. I like a rumble of a cabinet. I just don't. And I'm not touring, so it doesn't really matter. I'm breaking my back or storing things in a van, etc. Right? All right. So what have you guys got planned for your day today? I'm just very curious. I'm very curious to see what everybody is up to today. Do tell me in the comments. What's everyone up to today? Are you going to stop by the stream later? Or what's going on tonight? Also, is it already getting close to that time? What part of the world are you in? Because I'm rolling about 10 o'clock here. We're going to be doing about 90 minutes here. Probably about 90 minutes or maybe like 80, 90 minutes with the Jazz Chorus today. And then we're going to kind of move along with my day. And then later on this afternoon, I'm really stoked to be able to jump in here with you guys. It might even be just watch for me. You know what? I'm just going to say it's either going to be 3 or 5 Eastern time. Okay, guys? Just trying to plan days, and sorry for the lack of professionalism. Little out of tune there. That's okay. It's not, well, I mean, this tuner, I don't know if this tuner is going to work out for us here, folks. We don't know. I don't know if it's going to work. Because, like, it feels like it should be in tune. But I don't know. How's it going, Bo? Nice to see you. Yeah, man. Myris, that's a great idea. I love that idea, actually. If I had the skill to do something like that, that'd be super fun. I actually have a friend that used to do that. The very same thing, and he had a great time with it. So. Okay, perfect. Let's maybe get a tiny bit of that. A little bit of this. Let's try some more of the cabs. The Vox. Nice. The Bogner. And back to the Roland. Wonderful. Sounds great, guys. That's obviously not that riff. This is the Nembrini Audio Quinta pitch machine. If you've never messed around with this, it goes on sale pretty cheap from time to time. I would 100% go buy it, if even just for funskies. It's fun for just adding all kinds of different pitch stuff, guys. It really is a blast. Not very expensive, super fun, and as you can see, very occasionally, I will also
throw it on the vocals.
It's also fun to throw on the vocals from time to time. Just just to really, what I really want to get is that monster voice plugin. I can't remember off the top of my head. I have it saved, a bookmark. It's like the brutalizer, not the brutalizer, dehumanizer. That's it. It's the dehumanizer. I kind of want to buy it just so I can occasionally have fun. Maybe put on a Mexican wrestling mask, a luchador mask, and do some strange voice, like a monster voice. That would be hilarious. Super annoying for you guys, but it'd be fun for me. Just kidding. Play Black Dog? That'll never happen. You will never, ever, 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 ever hear me perform a Led Zeppelin song on this channel. And if you ever do, you should look outside because things are about to freeze over entirely. I'm very much not a fan. I respect Led Zeppelin, but I am not a fan at all. We're just kind of messing around today, guys. Not doing anything super exciting, but we are messing around with some pretty nice sounding plugins here. It's strange I call my wife Dehumanizer. I don't call mine the Dehumanizer. No, I don't think she'd... I'd probably catch a smack or a slap or something for that. What? Say again? Oh, she likes it. So apparently I have the A-OK to call her the Dehumanizer. Well, now that I know she likes the name, though, that it's not going to work for me. Yeah, dude, there was a bit of a bug in the auto-swell when we were trying to do like a chord or something different with the auto-swell. It kind of was doing that. You know when you go in and you're trying to tell someone, I never realized that chord that I've been using for years is actually the start of... That's not the start of a Taylor Swift song? So it'd be... Nope. You guys, you probably, there's at least one person sitting there and thinking that, man, I did not sign up to listen to some random Canadian learn Taylor Swift songs on a stream. I think that's actually how you play that song. Don't you like when you fall ass backwards into something? Whether it's a song you wanted to learn or not. It's just funny to just fall ass backwards into something and be like, hey, that's kind of like that. And then you just learn a few other notes and you're like, yeah, I just learned a song. This is fucking stupid. Every chord is a strat. Every chord is a... The Quint machine works well with chords, right? I don't know that it does. I just got rid of it, though. I don't know that it does, but I think it might. One thing I also have... Oops, gotta log in. And I've got the shimmer delay hooked up here as well, folks. That's kind of fun. Oh, putting that fake sax. What's a fake sax? Ah! Whatever that was, it needs to go away right now. I don't want whatever that was. Hold on. Let's turn that back on the mix a little bit here. I don't understand why that's supposed to be fake sax, but thank you very much for that. In any event, if you guys are familiar with pitch, with shimmer delays, these things can be a lot of fun, but they're also kind of tough to dial in. So I would stick to the presets at first if you're not familiar with how to dial in a shimmer delay, because I'm be honest, I'm not super familiar with dialing in a shimmer delay either. So I kind of will, live around the, the presets a bit. But whenever I hear a shimmer delay, I think of that one component in Native Instruments guitar rig that sounds just like this. There's that one component you can put, and it was the shimmer delay before everybody had a shimmer delay. They had like one of the first shimmer delays. And I remember that being like the only cool thing that I think one of the cooler things I'd heard. I'm like, oh man, that's fucking crazy. That's just madness. That was the only cool thing about that plugin though. Oh, I don't know that the developer made the... I don't think Igor made this preset. Either way, somebody that made the preset obviously had it set up in a way that it was supposed to emulate a fake sax of some sort, and maybe it made sense to them at the time. We all make... Remember, everybody that makes presets, things are just... Everybody's different, and it might have sounded a different way to somebody else. It's probably a handy preset for somebody, but maybe not me in this moment. I've also caught, you're also talking to the guy that calls his first preset for every plugin fucking beef in capital letters, so I can't exactly talk about anybody else's preset naming strategies. Ooh, I heard a little sound in my... What was that? It was some interference. So yeah, so far this thing is rad. I'm going to put it through some more country paces with a different Telecaster in time. Not just yet, but in time. Sorry, folks. It's just not loud enough. It needs to be a bit louder. Doodly-dee-dee-dee. Am I playing that right? Probably not. Bo probably knows. I'm probably not playing that correctly. Another one I learned in my youth and just probably learned half-assed and so I can play it. No, I can't. I don't have it set up for stereo right now, though. I can only hear... I don't hear anything in the right ear at all. Oh, there it is. It was just way back. No, it goes ear to ear, dude. It goes ear to ear. 100%. I can hear it. Unless my ears are wrong, in which case they are old and they are pretty road worn and hard, ridden hard and put away wet. But yeah, maybe. I don't know. But to me, it sounded like they're going... gosh, this is a great sounding clean tone. I think everybody needs a great sounding clean tone. If you don't have one in your arsenal, you got to try it. I would try it. I would definitely give this a shot because I think you're going to enjoy this. I know I've played a lot of E chords today, but little, I don't know, this tuner's still just bugging me. It says this guitar is in tune, but I don't feel like it is. And it always seems to be the G that it's just not getting. Kid at the music store and his crazy mullet. I believed him. You lied to me. Ah. It sounds good. I don't like software tuners. I never have. I don't like the going back and forth and click ski this. I have Tuna. I have all the tuners you could imagine. Plus, there's tuners built right into everything these days. And I just, whatever. I like having a clip-on that's always there, but I like having an accurate clip-on. I also like the volume cut without actually having to do anything except for just turn my volume down instead of reaching over and mute. I'd prefer just to have something where it's down here. I'm just going to go buy a more accurate clip tuner. That's all. I love I really like the compressor in this. It's a really nice compressor. Oh man, that went off a cliff at the end there, right? Yeah, I have been trying different spots on the headstock. And it seems to be fine. I just don't like this particular tuner. I just don't like the LED. There's something about it where I just don't feel like it's giving me what the last tuner gave me. I don't know what to tell you. What I really want, if I could get what I want, what I really, really want, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. And what I want is a Peterson tuner. A Peterson strobe tuner is what I'd love to have just off to the right here somehow. I also thought about maybe getting like a Boss TU and just like keeping it on the desk here and giving it the occasional like bop. But I don't know. I feel like that would be also just intrusive. I don't know. I've had so many different like hardware, like analog, legitimate tuners, and not necessarily analog, but I've had some really nice tuners, and yeah, I don't know. Clip tuners seem to get it done unless I'm trying to do like intonation and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, I don't know. Peterson strobe, yeah. It's exactly what I would like. I was on this tour once where the guitar player had a Peterson strobe, and gosh, it was a handy, handy machine. But he had one of the old school ones though, and it was like really touchy, but man, it was a good tuner. You guys are probably feeling so ripped off right now that you're not getting any jazz. Yeah, guys, this thing sounds amazing. This is the best clean tone I've ever heard from Nembrini Audio. They have some great clean tones over there. This is the best one I've heard. If you were to go and buy this and his double reverb, you are going to be fully stocked with both really, like, they're very different sounding, but you're going to be fully stocked with two of the absolute greatest clean tones you're ever going to hear. Love me some Nembrini Audio, though. I really do. But I think that almost every developer at this point has a really great clean option. Nembrini Audio arguably might have the largest selection of great clean tones along the line of top developers. You think about Neural DSP, they've got, and Archetype Plini has a wonderful clean tone. Archetype Corey Wong is a clean tone, legendary icon machine of clean tones. That thing is one of the greatest, single greatest stash of amazing clean tones that you will ever come across. So that thing is amazing. With STL Tones, you get the Tonality Howard Benson that has some of the best clean tones I've ever heard. That plugin as well, some amazing clean tones there. Amp Hub has amazing clean tones as well. The list goes on and on and on and on and on and on. You think that this is the best clean tones ever? Yeah? I might agree with you right now, man. I'm a big fan of ska guitar playing, so maybe we're gonna have to do a ska stream soon. There's gonna be one person. It's gonna be me and Pedro on that one. Sounds like I'm in tune, but it sounds like I'm not. No. Oh, it didn't have... Come on. Come on, Rook. Turn the volume down when you're tuning, Rook. We would actually say that to bands on stage. Young band out there. Oh. No, wait. You need distortion. Hold on. Tell me you've all not been through this before. Well, they're all doing it together because they're like, hey, give me your E. And they're all do the E, and then they're all tuning together and loud. Turn off the volume, Rook. Yeah, that distortion didn't need to be there. Yeah, so this is going to be, I'm going to go with Pedro, man. This is going to be some of the best clean tones I've heard. The auto-swell works for single notes. I maybe found a little bug in this as far as like the chording not being quite there. Maybe it was misuse. I don't think it is. But in any event, software is made to be fixed from time to time. That's just the way it works. Updates are very simple for developers to do, and I think it'll be fun. So, yeah, this is what happens when you test things early on. Sometimes you find little bugs, but always make sure. I saw this one particular piece of content where the guy found a bug and was just like shitting on the developer for it. It was a very small, minuscule bug in the cap section where like a mic would disappear on him. And he's like, look at this. Look at this. Look at that. This is terrible. Oh, this is the worst thing. And you're like, yeah, or you could just not bring lots of attention to it, explain that it's part of the process, and then just tell the developer. And maybe he'll be a lot happier than being an asshole in your content. So yeah, this is going to get a really solid score. First impression score out of me. This is definitely a 9 out of 10. First impression score. I'm not going to hold the subtle bug or I'm not going to hold a bug against the score of the plugin as long as it's not full of bugs. I've tested plugins first time out that had multiple, like one had as many as 10 plus bugs at time of release when there's no excuse for that whatsoever. There's no excuse for a plugin to be that buggy, but finding one or two small, like I wouldn't even consider this necessarily a small bug, but I would say that it happens. We're just gonna discuss it because they happen. This is just what happens. You talk to the developer, hey, I was using this thing and this part, something wasn't kind of out of whack. And then what's gonna happen is the developer's either going to explain that, no, this is a user error. and you need to do it like this instead, which does happen from time to time. Or they're going to tell you, thank you so much for bringing this to our attention. We're really, really sorry for the inconvenience. We're going to get on this for the first update ASAP. Thank you so much for bringing this to our attention. They may even offer you something for your inconvenience and your goodwill of reaching out and saying, hey, I'm having a problem with this plugin. Is this a bug you're aware of? That's all you got to do, guys. It's really simple. And you're going to build more of a relationship and a good reputation with any developer by being just another set of helping hands that reaches out and says, hey, you know, or another set of helping ears or helping eyes that on the project that just happens to find something that somebody else didn't. Not a big, fat, huge deal. But that being said, maybe it is my fault. Maybe this is my fault. The tuning with the volume I can tolerate, but the tuning with volume and making it worse than before. Tuning with volume is one thing, but tuning with volume and distortion is another thing. Turn your distortion off. No, I really feel that absolutely every person on earth that's planning on taking a stage with a stringed instrument, an electric instrument, needs to be equipped at this point in time. It wasn't a thing 25 years ago where not everybody had access to. I mean, everybody had those like plug-in rectangle brick guitar tuners from Korg and everyone else, but not everybody had like a mutable stage source on the stage kind of tuner. Now it's so easy. Everyone can have a clip tuner. Everyone can have a clip tuner. Everyone can have a clip tuner. Anyone and everyone can go out and buy a pretty good tuner, because there's even a lot of copies like Joyo and other companies that are making now stomp tuners that are really, really, really good and not very expensive. So there's really, really no, if you're going to go out and you've got this big pedal board full of stuff and you're going to spend all this money on all these pedals, if you're not going to invest in a noise gate, maybe a power supply and a few other knickknacks that can make the whole picture sound better, like a tuner and everything else, your priorities are in the wrong place. You buy your pedals, yeah, but make sure you've got a gate. Make sure you've got a good power supply for these pedals, and make sure you've got a tuner on stage if you're going to go to the trouble of having all this other gear, right? Resington's in the house. Resington, that's something that I think I could see you doing. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. Caleb, how are you? Hey, how's it going, man? I haven't seen you in a stream in a little bit. It's really nice to see you. I watched a video of yours just the other day for it said I cannot remember the developer's name. They did a recent plugin. Oh gosh, I think it starts with a D. They did a plugin that's got like a 5150, a modified Marshall, and a screamer and some other stuff in it. Revolt? Is that it? Revolt. I'm curious, my friend, because you know your tone and you know when something sucks. And I've been told you like this Revolt plugin, and I'm curious if you could tell us about it, a little bit about it in the comments and get me excited, because I'm going to go and they did give me the license for that. So I'm kind of stoked to go and see if it's good. I kind of forgot that I had the license, but I'm going to make sure that I get on that bus. I'm curious. I would imagine I'm busy as fuck too, my friend. I'm still doing all the artist relations hustling for a couple of different companies, and gosh, I can't really say anything out loud, but I have the biggest phone call, maybe the biggest phone call of my career in artist relations on Wednesday, and I'm kind of nervous. I'm talking with the management. I'm talking just with the management, but I've heard there is a good chance that this particular artist, even though they're kind of up here, likes to sit in on the calls. So I'm pretty nervous that this person could just interject at any point, and I'm going to be face to face, or at least ear to ear, with one of my childhood heroes. It's going to be very, very interesting. I'm kind of like, I can feel the anxiety in here, and it's not good. So I'm hoping I don't completely lose my shit on Wednesday. Revolt Evo's sweet. The paid one is better. Okay, so the paid one is better. Can you tell us, like, where does it rate? Where does the Revolt stuff rate alongside, like, the big boys? Because we're curious. Also, have you got, Resington, have you connected with Igor at Nembrini? If you're ever interested in doing Nembrini audio stuff, man, I know that Igor would love to hear from you, so feel free to reach out to him. I don't know if you checked out that new HK, the Hughes and Kettner. That thing is awesome. The Pure Tone. I thought it might be up your alley, but again, who knows? Caleb, nice to see you. I know it isn't Amp Sims, but I got a new drum light. No. We're not just Amp Sims here. We're the Amp Sim universe. And the reason that what that means is we talk about everything that circulates around Amp Sims, drum software and Amp Sims from the very inception of both of those things have been tightly gripped and tied together like absolute glue. So yes, feel free to talk about drum software anytime you like, whether it's drum software, drum shots, whatever it is. If you feel it's going to be helpful and handy to another user, feel free. Or if you're curious on my angle, my opinion on any of the drum software out there, please do ask. I'm more than happy to discuss that, pickups, guitar cables, anything that surrounds Amp Sims that we all associate with Amp Sims, guitars, strings, clip tuners we're talking about. These are all things that oftentimes clip tuners. How many clip tuners do you think are out there being used right now by Amp Sim users? You know what I mean? These are things that are handy for the average Amp Sim user. So yes, we're going to talk about all of those things. Absolutely. Yeah, man. I'm going to reach out to you, Resington. We'll send you an email. I'll just introduce you and Igor. And he is, man, one of the most generous human beings on the planet when it comes to software for creators. I'll make sure you get hooked up. You just let me know whatever you need. Okay. So the ampsimuniverse@gmail.com. Just go through Nembrini Audio's, their whole list. Let me know what you'd like to demo and send me a list of anything you want from there. And I'll make sure that I get it sent over to you. Okay. Anything you'd like. Okay. Just honestly, let us know whether it's the MP1, GMP1. There's a lot there that I think would crush with your style. So let me know if there's anything that we can get for you, as I'm also currently working some artist relations with Nembrini as well. And there's going to be another plugin coming from Nembrini next month that he told us about, but the beta has not hit our beta list yet. So he told us about it, and now we're all just sitting here like this. Come on now. Come on. Come on, beta. Come on, beta. Very exciting news coming from a lot of developers in 2025. Wavemind, as you guys are all very well aware, is going to be making some very large moves. Lots of developers. Developers. I can't say words today. Nembrini's got some crazy plugins coming. Man, it seems like there's the Q1 releases that we usually see early first 2 weeks of January are now just starting to down the line. So it looks like now a lot of the Q1 stuff is coming in February. That's cool though, because oddly and strangely enough, a lot of developers drop stuff in really late in December, which you don't see that often. That was really strange to me to see a whole bunch of really nice stuff get dropped in Q4, really late in the game, Q4. And Q1 is always that time of year where I'm telling everyone, save your money, because Q1 is going to explode. And then Q1 comes and we're all standing around like, and like you see a tumbleweed go by and you're like, oh, okay. But there's been some good releases, but not at the scale that we usually see. So I'm very curious to see what's going to happen in 2025 in Q1 yet to come, because we're still there. We're still in Q1. And if you're curious what I mean by Q1, quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, quarter four years are separated into quarters for most companies. Retail, anybody that really sells anything operates with the Q and, the quarterlies. And yeah, developers usually have that first 2 weeks cooking with something. But this year, it seems like this big barrage is going to find its way into February. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so I can't give you guys the exact, but I did say the last stream, I'm giving you guys small hints, but I can't confirm. There's somebody that did get it in the last stream, and I winked at them. And I don't think they noticed that I winked at them when they got it. So, yeah, all I can say is that Nembrini is going to be adding another plugin to their preamp line, which is one of my favorite lines in all of plugins right now. They did the MP1, they did the JMP1, they did the Triaxis. All three of those were pieces of gear that in my youth made me go, oh, I need it. Gas, real gas. These are some of the original gas products. So for me to be able to just go, oh, I'm just going to reach over here and I'm just going to click on this and open my MP1. It feels good. If I could seriously own one of these when I was 15, I would have never left my house. I went to a guitar teacher just because he had one of these. He wasn't even that good. He taught me some cool stuff, but when I was a teenager, I was mostly like, he was trying to teach me Metallica riffs, and I'm looking at this thing like, yeah, that's the thing from the guitar magazines. So yeah, there's going to be another in this line of amazing preamps that Nembrini has been firing out over the last couple of years. Very excited about the next option. And I'm not going to say Bogner Fish is... I've been harassing Igor to do the Bogner Fish for the better part of 3 years. 3 years I've wanted a Bogner Fish. And as soon as he started this preamp line, I started probably emailing him almost monthly. I talk with Igor several times a week as it is, but I would say about once every couple of weeks in one of the emails, I'll just subtly be like, hey, Igor, don't forget about the Bogner Fish, you know, with the VHT power amp so I can get my Dave Mustaine on. You know, that would be wonderful, wouldn't it? But in a perfect world, maybe we'll get it someday. But no, it's not the Bogner Fish. It's not the Bogner Snorkeler either. See you later, Resington. It's really nice to see you. I appreciate you dropping in. It's really awesome. Really great. I appreciate you. And keep creating rad content, man. Honestly, if you have not checked out Resington's content, please do check his stuff out. Also, if you've not checked out some of our own internal team members, I'm not the only one that does content. Philippe Priss does some incredible content, and he does stuff that is very, very handy for amp sim users. So please do check out Philippe Priss on here on YouTube. Is it Pip? Yeah, it's Pip Priss. That's right. Pippriss. Pip Priss, I think, on, or is it Philippe on YouTube? I can't recall. But just make sure you check out his stuff because it's awesome. You know what? Honestly, Kyle, that was the other one I suggested to Igor was the Angle E530. I had also suggested to Igor that he do a preamp version of his 9 gates, one of his newest plugins called the 9 gates preamp pedal, metal preamp. That thing, I think he probably should have taken a couple extra steps and done that in a preamp form. I think that would have been, that plugin is going to be, like if you try the 9 gates, use it with an IR loader and like a boost pedal, the thing is crushing. It has tons of beef, tons of balls. And if he was to put that in like in a head form, or like a plugin with like the full, signal chain, I think that would do really well for him. These are just little things that I've rolled out there here and there for Mr. Nembrini. And but man, one of the hardest working guys in the game. Guys, go and check out the absolutely free versions of all of the Nembrini audio products and see what you guys like. Try them out, check them out, see what you guys dig, and I'll be sure and be sure to also download all the free products. There's stuff they have free unrestricted versions of all the paid stuff, but there's also a ton of free software available. Like there's a Tube Screamer, there's a free Rat, Proco Rat, free Klon Centaur clone, free this, free that, there's tons of free stuff in there. So go and make sure you check out all the freeware. There's free amp as well. and check out all of the unrestricted free trials of the paid plugins as well to see what you dig and what you don't dig. Okay, guys, so I'm going to give this a very solid 9 out of 10. It would get a higher score. I'm not going to hold the glitch or the bug against it too hard right yet. But if that bug is still there, you know, down the road, then yeah, that's absolutely something that would have to be discussed in you know, taking off points of this in the plugin, right? So yes, also absolutely. Do other developers have that rack? Which rack plugin? Are you talking about the one? No, this has never been done by anybody. Wait, no, incorrect. Again, nope. It has been done by somebody. Yes, it has been done by somebody. And I can tell you that it is in a mega suite. If you don't know what a mega suite is, it's one of like, that's the big ones that's got like, you know, 40, 50 billion amps and billions of cabs and billions of everything else. So that's I think the only place you can find one right now is in a mega suite. And you have to have the full version of it to get it. Ha! So that's all I can tell you. I'm just going to go back and see if anybody... yes, it is an unusual amp. And I heard it really rocks, man. All right. That's all you're getting. All right, we'll see you guys later. I will be here later on today. I'll be here later today. But I'd allow to be 3, 4, or 5 guys. I'm sorry, that's so lame, but I just have to make sure we get stuff done around here today and we do what we need to do. So you're going to see me this afternoon, a little bit later in the afternoon. We're going to be giving away a Solidus Randy 250. And we are going to be discussing and going over nothing but old school death metal tones. I'm going to have an EMG loaded Ibanez RG with only a bridge pickup. I'm going to have myself nothing but solid state greatness here and some other things. It's going to be a lot of fun. I cannot wait for it. And just to get ready for it, I should go watch Ace Ventura and watch the Cannibal Corpse scene again. What's that? I don't know what you're discussing. I don't know. I just said that rocks, man. I don't know. That wasn't a clue or anything. No, nothing like that. No. I love it. I love the teasers. But nonetheless, guys, I can promise you that you guys will get first seats. And you guys will definitely get release streams from everything that Nembrini Audio does. And we try to also offer a contest. So I just really couldn't get to him in time for a contest for this morning. So I'm going to try to do a giveaway. I like to do giveaways for Nembrini Audio when they have new stuff that comes out. So there'll likely be a giveaway next weekend. Saturday morning, I'll probably do like a giveaway for this plugin right here. I'll be using more than just this, but this will probably be a giveaway next weekend, morning stream, Saturday morning. It's becoming a thing. I like doing Saturday morning streams with a little bit less of a metal. It's never going to be metal first thing in the morning, or very seldom will it be metal first thing in the morning. So you guys can always expect something a little different on Saturday mornings, be it surf or punk or country or rockabilly or really just a bunch of different things that I could possibly do other than just chugs, okay? So if you're ever looking, if you're not the person that likes to listen to chugs, well, guess what? No problem. Next weekend, I think we're going to do next weekend, Saturday morning, I'll do something about, maybe we'll do something about Southern Rock. I got to work with our teammate, Andy here. He is the Southern Rock expert. So I'm going to work with him on some signal chains, so that next weekend we could do something Southern Rock related. And then the Roland can be cordially invited, because that was an amp that did pop up from time to time in Southern Rock. Okay, guys? Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you guys later, I hope, because later on is going to be a bit of a banger for sure. All right, guys, take care. My challenge for you guys in the meantime is to go check out, I know we are sponsored, or at least partially sponsored, by Aurora Tone Pickups. But I also want you guys to go check out another Canadian-based company called Corrigan Pickups. and Corrigan Pickups. Please go check them out. We're going to be probably likely, in all likelihood, demoing some of their stuff as well in the new year here. So please do check out Corrigan Pickups at your earliest convenience and see if maybe they have something that looks interesting to you. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. I will see you guys later this afternoon. And if I don't, well, happy tone hunting to you guys. And if once again, if you guys need anything and you're out there, if you're looking to collaborate with us, if you're a content creator that wants to do some trading of content creation for plugins, do get a hold of me at the ampsimuniverse@gmail.com and I can get you started down that road for sure. All right, guys, thank you for being here and I will see you guys again next time.